Okay, so I've had some people ask me this before. What is the metalhead character? Now, that's a great question, and I'm fixing to answer as all the questions I've gotten from it, plus give you a mostly detailed file of how he works, so that way when you see him on screen, you're well aware of how that works, and you're basically afraid for anyone you care about who's on screen. So let's start off with his origin. The original idea was actually, this is based off of my other earlier videos this week, of changing Metalhead's name to Orion. That was always a thing, but I went ahead and stuck with Metalhead just because it kind of stuck, and nobody cared about Orion. So it was always supposed to be Orion, named after Orion the Great Hunter, from mythology and whatnot. But that never really came to fruition. So it was basically changed to TX-15, or Turtle Experiment number 15, who gets into a really bad accident. He goes off on a mission, very similar to what actually happened in his origin story. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's in the link below, or there's a link in the description below if you want to check it out. It's like 3 parts long. So that origin, though, is going to be redone the way it's supposed to be, because that was the way it was going to be. This is the way it has to be. Or, basically, you get the point. The old origin was the way that it kind of evolved into. This new one that I'm going to do is exactly how it was supposed to be done. I will take my time on it, I will do it the right way, and I will make sure it is as good as it can be. Because there are several people I've seen who really like that Metalhead origin story because of how much of a badass I made Metalhead. So that's essentially where it's going to be going. But anyway, Orion, or whatever you want to call him, was just a very skilled, character and whatnot, going through all these different missions and whatnot. But then he gets to the one mission that leads him with no left arm, completely shattered skull, completely destroyed leg, severed spinal cord, and his entire right forearm just like completely gone. So, which leads into that metalhead design, that classic look that the figure generically has. So, but what people don't know is Metalhead did not survive that encounter. In fact, he was killed, basically dead on arrival. So when the Shredder brings him back to the, I guess you could say the Foot Clan lab, or whatever you want to call it, when he gets brought back there, he's basically dead. He's not officially dead, but he's clinically dead. So no, he did not survive his injuries. So the way that the rest of the story kind of works is Shredder, since he doesn't really throw anything, well, in that particular universe that I was setting up, he doesn't really throw anything away. He kind of just keeps it off to the side, and then if it's useful to him later, he brings it back. So he does that. He puts Metal in like a cryo-freezing chamber and whatnot, freezes his ass for 3 years, and then resurrects him from the dead. That's one of the reasons, and that is the biggest reason why Metalhead has always hated the Shredder, is because in the original idea, when I came up with the character of Metalhead, he was dead for 3 years. So he considered that as an honorable death. He died in battle. He died doing a mission. And since the Shredder doesn't care about honor, he resurrected him, which dishonored that death, and Metalhead's hated Shredder ever since. That's kind of where that whole idea started from, and it's going to play a big factor in one of my future videos. I can't say too much about it because it would spoil the entire movie that I'm going to do, but just know that's going to play a big part in a future movie. So, because I'm changing it from a movie to a series, or from a series to a movie. You get the point. So anyway, Metalhead's been dead for 3 years. Shredder resurrects him because the Cyber Turtles, the 4 other characters that I did, which are basically just other skins of the other turtles, but they're cyborg robots, essentially, fail. Because Shredder tried to wanted to continue his Ninja Turtles cloning process, which is where Metalhead came from, or Orion, or whatever you want to call him, and he was the 15th one. They killed all the other 14 members except one, TX14. TX14 has appeared in one video. He is the turtle with a blue and red bandana with a plasma gun for an arm, and a big backpack on his shell. But that was TX14 or TX14. So TX15 was the big successor. It took them 14 tries to get it right, or 15 tries to get it right. They got it right with Metalhead or Orion, whatever you want to call him, and it worked. He was highly skilled, very deadly, unbeatable, fairly strong, very fast, basically like the perfect weapon. Until obviously that horrible incident. So because they wanted to keep going with that, apparently from what I remember from when I was actually doing all this, because I never gave the Cyber Turtles an origin story because I didn't necessarily think it was worth it. But basically, it's the same thing as Metalhead. They just kept trying and trying and trying until they got what they wanted, but then they kept failing because they're idiots, and each time they failed, the Shredder would have a body part removed from their organic body and would be replaced with machinery. That's why they're called the Cyber Turtles. Leonardo's Cyber Turtle got it the worst because he was the leader. So if the whole team screws up, it's mainly all on the leader's fault. So Cybernetic Leo got the worst end of it. That's why his entire body is metal, or living metal. So that's kind of where the Cyber Turtles fit into place. But then Shredder brings back Metalhead to basically lead the Cyber Turtles because he knows that TX15, Orion, Metalhead, whatever, was the perfect weapon. So he figures if he spends millions of dollars bringing him back to life, giving him completely upgraded robotic parts and all this basically high-tech stuff just to keep his ass alive and moving, then he can lead this team of losers who are basically screwing up Shredder's evil plans. So that's kind of where Metalhead's origin started from. Now, to get onto the actual parts of why and the biggest reasons why you're supposed to fear Metalhead whenever he is on screen with characters that you fans out there really do like Spider-Man and stuff like that. There's two rules with Metalhead. One, he does not kill children. Anyone under 16, he doesn't kill, just because to him those are still children. And if he doesn't feel like you're worth a fight, he will kill you right away. Say he's fighting like Batman or something, and Batman doesn't really seem like it's going to be a good fight, but he tests you to make sure if you're worthy enough. If he doesn't feel you're worthy enough, he basically doesn't mess with you, and either disables you or kills you. So that's part of how he works. That's why, he'll take some damage and get hit and whatnot, but he's testing you to see if you're worthy of his skill. So kind of like Darth Vader in Obi-Wan Kenobi, where he was fighting Reva, when he's just barely just half-assing with the Force. He did not think she could put up a fight, and she really didn't. But he was testing her to see if she was even worth the time. That's kind of where Metalhead also has, but that was also done before that show came out. But anyway, that's kind of the general premise of that. So after Metalhead has come back to life and he's worked with them for a few years, he goes off and does his own thing, and he basically just kind of disbands and does his own mercenary missions and stuff like that, just kind of build up his skills. He's always trying to be better, because he knows he failed one time, and that one time is what turned him into a robotic freak. So he's always trying to build up his skill, always trying to build up his knowledge and stuff like that. Basically, almost like Batman and Doctor Strange a little bit. They're out, they're traveling the world, they're learning all this stuff. It's kind of like that, except he's mastering everything. You know, Batman just learned people's other countries' martial arts. He's mastered all of it. So eventually, and this is where the overpowered stuff comes into place, eventually Metalhead does get, you know, the entire world's martial arts mastered. So in other times, he does go to space and stuff like that and learn other forms of martial arts throughout the cosmos to become the most skilled and most dangerous fighter there is. So that's why whenever he's fighting somebody, they're like fearful for their lives. Like, oh crap, this guy can kill me without even trying. What do I do? That's basically why there are certain characters who act certain ways whenever Metalhead is on screen. Because they're like, oh shit, I know his reputation. If I don't fight my ass off, I'm going to be dead. Or could be dead or paralyzed. So that is the biggest reason why Metalhead should have a fear factor anytime he's on screen. Just because that's how dangerous he is. He has mastered every form of martial arts in the world and other places in the cosmos, but that was lightly touched upon in the old channel. It never went anywhere. So most likely, for now, he's just a very skilled martial artist in the entire world. He knows every single form of martial arts. Every combat trick, every move, every defense, pretty much everything. So he is very skilled and very dangerous, which makes him unpredictable and extremely dangerous to his opponents. So that is why a lot of characters in my videos, whenever he's on screen, fear him. Now, I have done a piss poor job at showing that, but it's supposed to be the case. He's supposed to show fear. Every time he's on screen, he's supposed to make you afraid. Because his reputation alone is what's supposed to scare you. So, and just because he's a very skilled mercenary, yeah, it's... So, anyway, like I said, Metalhead does not kill any characters unless he absolutely has to. Now, yes, I've had him kill gods and stuff like that before on the old stuff, but that didn't carry over, so that's not a big deal. But he has taken down beings such as Superman. I did do a video a while back where he fought Superman and was able to stop a punch straight up, like, boom. Similar to Batman versus Superman, except he wasn't weak. He caught Superman full sun strength, caught a fist. So, yes, I know, Metalhead's overpowered, okay? But it's fun. That's what makes him fun. At least to me, that's what makes him fun. He has taken down the Hulk a couple of times. Again, he has stopped a fully raged Hulk fist. Because Metalhead's robotic parts make him stronger and faster than he ever was as a regular clone, essentially. So, as a regular organic being, he could run probably 30 miles an hour and be able to live approximately 600 to 700 pounds, give or take, just by himself. As his cybernetically enhanced part, you know, basically the traditional Metalhead, his left arm can carry up to about, I think it was like 1,400 pounds to almost 2,000 pounds, and just his left hand, or just his left arm. That's how strong his robotic parts are. His right arm, since his upper bicep up here is all living organism still, his right hand can still pick up stuff up to about 1,000 to 1,500 pounds. So yes, very strong. But his reflexes and actual strength is off the charts. And with his robotic legs, his speed, I believe, me and my brother did the math on it, we clocked it as he could run approximately 60 to 70 miles an hour with little to no effort. So, yes, I know. Again, Metalhead is overpowered as all hell, but it's worth it because it brings a fascinating character to my table. So So obviously, Metalhead is not perfect. Okay, that's why he's got the slash scars all over his left eye. He's got a bullet hole in his right shoulder and a slash mark on his right shoulder as well. Those are all from certain characters who he thought was worthy enough to fight. Like straight up, don't hold back, don't come up with any creative moves, straight up fight. Those are characters that were able to actually injure him, but not defeat him. Because Metalhead has been defeated, but not beaten, essentially. Like, when he fought the last Ronin a couple weeks ago, the last Ronin only won because he disabled him by pinning him up against the wall with that pike. Otherwise, that match would have gone on, and eventually the last Ronin would have gotten tired, and Metalhead would have won. So if Metalhead respects you, he lets you put up more of a fight and basically kind of holds back his punches. But if he doesn't seem you're worthy enough, he doesn't hold back his punches. And whatever happens to you is whatever happens to you. But, so that's kind of a rough explanation of why that character is the way he is. So, I'm hoping that when I redo the origin story the way it was supposed to be the first time, it makes a little bit more sense. But, like I said, Orion, a Metalhead, whatever you want to call him, is a very overpowered character. But I think the overpowered part is what makes him such an iconic and cool character on this channel. Because to this day, Metalhead is by far one of my most popular characters I have ever created, including Gravity Man. So, and I believe Gravity Man actually came out long before Metalhead did, but that's also because I didn't utilize Gravity Man. I utilized Metalhead because he's just more of an iconic and way cooler character. And it's a Ninja Turtle, so I mean, Ninja Turtles are highly recognizable, unless you're going off of Seth Rogen's animated movie coming out this year. I'll give my personal thoughts on that later. But yeah, that's that's as best as I can explain. If I had to explain every single little detail, this video would probably be over an hour and a half long. But just know, Metalhead is a very tough character. He's mastered every form of martial arts on Earth. His parts, the robotic parts, can lift approximately a combined weight of over 3,000 pounds. He can match speeds up to 40 to 60 miles an hour, give or take, on his robotic parts. And he's very durable. And if he feels like you're worth fighting, he will, hold back his punches. If he doesn't feel like you're worth the fight, then he'll take you out really quickly. So that's why Metalhead does work faster. Some of his fights do work faster than some others. I can't think of any big ones off the top of my head, but there was a moment in my old channel where he did fight Ghost Rider, and yes, realistically Ghost Rider would be able to mop the floor with Metalhead. But he did give him a shot. He legitimately said, hey, if you want to fight me, go ahead and fight me. And he did. He got his ass handed to him. But he didn't make it easy. Since, again, Metalhead has mastered every form of martial arts on Earth. But anyway, that's just a rough breakdown of how Metalhead's character works. Like I said, if you guys want the name changed to Orion, after Orion the Great Hunter from mythology, I don't remember exactly which mythology. Let me know down in the comment section below. But as of right now, that's kind of where that whole shit lies. So, again, all of this is factual. You can ask my brother if he ever shows up on camera. That is essentially how Metalhead was created and how his character works. So he's not a straight up evil guy, but he's also not a nice person either. So basically, if he feels you're worthy enough to fight, he'll pull back his punches. If he doesn't feel you're worthy enough to fight, he'll take you out pretty quickly. So anytime Metalhead shows up on screen, expect expect that other character to have that type of fear, because solely on his reputation alone. I've been trying to do that for years. I can never get it right. hopefully now that you guys know that, you will start expecting that. So anytime you see the metalhead character on screen, you're going to be afraid of some of the stuff he could be capable of. Hopefully. So, obviously that's still to be determined, but you guys get the general gist of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this Metalhead Explained video. I've been trying to come up with ways on how to explain this shortly and properly for the last year and a half. So, ever since Metalhead got his reinsurgence back into the channel, he's again been like the #1 fan recommended videos and whatnot. I can't tell you how many videos I've done where I haven't used Metalhead and people just go bonkers for it. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it. Like I said, hopefully his origin story that I redo in the right way instead of the quick get it out the door way that I did will be much better and much more detailed than that 3-part thing that I did. Because his actual origin story is going to be one full big thing. I'm going to treat it as a movie. I'm going to shoot it in parts and then upload it as one whole thing. So that way you guys can enjoy the full story without having to go through each individual part like I have before. So, something new I'm going to try on the channel. I'm going to test it with the Metalhead origin story. Again, if you want his name to be changed to Orion after Orion the Great Hunter, let me know down in the comments below. And I'll catch you guys all next time in Ultimate Deadpool. Peace out. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys all later. Bye.